Live from Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world, it's The Joe Cortez Show.
Welcome to The Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment capital of the world. And to me, the food capital of the world. We got the best restaurants in the world here in Las Vegas, but my number one stop is my mother's house. Along here with my co-host, Delynn May, and the star of the show, Mike Leonetti. Mike Leonetti, I mean, if he would have been a fighter, I think he'd be a champion. The man can cook, and the man can perform. You talk about Louis Prima type of a guy, here he is right here, Mike Leonetti.
Thanks, Joe. I love you, man. You're the greatest.
Well, you know, good to have you on the show today. We want to be talking about your fine restaurant here in Sun City, Sun City, Las Vegas. That's here in the Summerlin area. You want to come to a nice place off the strip, best food in the world, the best entertainment. I mean, this is like the last supper club show in Las Vegas, I would say, right?
That's true. One of the keys for me is that I'm the only restaurant, supper club, that doesn't turn the tables. Every restaurant turns the tables. I don't allow that. It's reservations only, because people, when they come in, they're here for the evening. My grandmother never threw anybody out. Neither do I.
Okay.
So we seat about 90 people. They come, we open at 3:30 in the afternoon, we close at 9. Show starts at 6. Everybody piles in at 5, quarter after 5. And the best way to explain this place, because you've both been here many times, it's like an Italian wedding.
Right.
So people are having a great time. They don't want to leave. Right. So I said, let them have a good time, and they go out with a great experience, and that's the key. That's why I named it my mother's house, because it's the experience that I want to give the customer. And it's just the good food. Right. It's everything. It's making them how they feel.
Well, this is one of my favorite spots. I remember one day we called up, and we were doing some work in the area. So Delynn call up, I want to have dinner at the place here tonight. And she called up, and they told her, we're booked. For Joe Cortez, that's his favorite spot, you know. You're really breaking his heart. And your wife said, I don't know, well, they're going to be tough, Joe. Everything's already sold out. So I remember we came and said, oh, you know what? We got a little spot for you. You know, so we came in and we sat out the side, there, a little table the other side. Some people were here had to go and leave early. I think they had to catch a flight or something. Right. And when they left, we got our seat. And I said, oh, thank God, because I tell you, coming here is like the best place in the world. I mean, the food is just fabulous. Talking about the best Italian food in town, this is the place at my mother's house. And of course, the entertainment. This guy, when he gets behind the mic, or he gets on the drum sets back here, and with his band, you think you're back in the good old days when you have the big band type music, with kind of Louis Prima type of stuff. This is it, and this is the man. Tell me about, how do you get started with the music?
Well,
and the food, of course.
Well, there's two stories. My grandfather was the one with the music, and my grandmother was the one with the cooking.
Okay.
So when I was 5 years old, you could never imagine a little boy at the age of 5 that loved his grandmother as much as I loved mine. Now the Italians back east, on Sunday, that was the day. I lived in an Italian neighborhood, and everybody cooked the same stuff.
Tell them what part of...
South Philadelphia.
South Philadelphia, okay.
And it was great, many great stars, Mario Lanza, Jack Klubman. The list was there with Fabian, Frankie Avalon. They all came out of a 9-block area. These great stars came out of one, Eddie Fisher, Philadelphia. So great.
How about some of the great fighters of Philadelphia?
Well, you had Joey Giardello, who I knew very well. Joey was great.
He was a light heavyweight champion of the world.
And I remember Kitten Hayworth. I don't know if you remember.
Kitten Hayworth, sure.
Kitten Hayworth was another great fighter.
Yeah.
Well, we're going back to the 60s now. We're talking 68, 70 in that area.
Yeah.
Right. So Philly was my stamping grounds, you know, and the cooking was my grandmother, who I loved. She taught me, and the music was my grandfather, you know.
Right.
You got the best of both worlds.
I really did.
Yes.
It was really great, and like I said, I had my hit record, and that's what really started me off.
So what was the hit record? What was it all about? It started off where?
Well, it was in Philly, and the record was called "You'll Never Know Just How Much I Love You." It was an old standard. And my grandfather came in one day and he said to me, Michael, I want you to listen to this song. I said, Pop, I never heard it. He said, listen to this song. He said, listen to the words. If you sing it like that, you could put that song over. Now, we're talking a 45. That was the 45, which is behind you. I ain't talking about this 45. The 45 is the record. So we get the hit. I'll never forget it. And I can still picture him. We got the boxes of these 45s. He sticks them in the trunk of his car. We go to Jersey, Atlantic City, Cape May, Margate, and he's paying $10, $20 people, the juice, the disc jockeys them days to play the records.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, it gets a hit. So I wound up at the Sands. They put me in Vegas.
Vegas.
Wow.
So now I come to Las Vegas, Nevada. I thought I was going to be performing at the main room. They sucked me in the lounge. What the hell is going on?
It's a start.
Now you got to remember, Joe, I was 22 years old.
Right.
I had a head full of hair. Jesus God, what happened? I have no idea.
Yeah.
So anyway,
You opened a restaurant.
We got the same barber, me and Joe. So what happened was I'm in the dressing room and I was hungry. And they didn't have the restaurants like they have today. It was far in between. I was dying for a dish of macaroni because I was homesick from being without my family.
Sure.
So I go to the store, I make some tomatoes, some garlic, and I make a marinara sauce. Not realizing I'm cooking in the dressing room. 20 minutes later goes by, I hear a knock on the door. I get up, I open up the door. Who do you think it was? Sinatra.
Sinatra. Frank Sinatra.
He says to me, hey kid, what are you doing? I said, I'm making a dish of macaroni. He said, what'd you say? I said, I'm making a dish of, the Italians, we say macaroni. The Americans say pasta, noodles. It's macaroni for the Italian people.
Yeah.
He smiles. He said, wait a minute, you're the kid that had that hit record. He goes, yeah. I said, come on in. Have a dish of pasta with me. He smiled. I happened to catch the guy right. Comes in, he sits, he eats. He said, Malone, this is delicious. He said, where's the phone? This was way before cellulars. Walks over to the corner and said, this is Mr. Sinatra. He says, give me Dean Martin's room. He said, Dean, get down here right away. You got to meet this kid. He cooks like my mother. The rest was history. Through him, I've been very fortunate, not only to sing, but to cook for everybody that you see behind me on these walls. Liberace, Donald O'Connor, Wayne Newton, Charo. I cooked for all of them.
Wow.
That was the late Robert Goulet, Phyllis McGuire. The list was endless because I was a kid, but my grandmother, that traditional
Right.
cooking. And naturally, those days, these guys are no longer with us, but the people that ran Las Vegas, when they heard about my cooking, that was it.
I guess because of your cooking, you're still here, man.
Yes, that's what saved me, Joe.
I don't know. Your music's pretty wonderful.
Well, you know, I got to tell you, it's what Vegas was when Freddie Bell was around, and who really, truthfully helped me was the Treniers. I don't know if you remember the Treniers.
Yeah, Treniers, yeah.
They were the ultimate. And then from there, I went to the Marina Hotel. I did the Mint. I did the Sahara. I did Lake Tahoe. The 70s was the ultimate in Las Vegas. But you got to remember, everybody was alive. Sammy, Dean, Frank, the whole gang was here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Today, well, what's beautiful about this restaurant is that it's a family restaurant, and kids, when I say kids, in their 30s, they come in here and they're astounded of the music, and they'll say to me, is that original stuff? Yeah, I wrote all them songs myself. Be My Love. Yeah, I wrote that song.
Who came up with the name My Mother's House?
Truthfully, it was really me because if you look at the menu, I got the Aunt Carmela, Aunt Teresa, Cousin Sal, Aunt Rosie. These were all my family. And I wanted to do something in memory of them because when people say, we'll take an Aunt Rosie, we'll take an Uncle Dom, we'll take this, I could see their face. To me, I could see their face, so I keep their memory alive. Like if I had the Joe Cortez burger, you know what I mean? So again, you know what I'm trying to say to you? Joe Cortez lives on. You know, who's Joe Cortez? Oh, he was the greatest, you know, he was a great fighter, this guy was unbelievable, referee. Keep the name alive. And people look at this menu and they see all these names. And then naturally I meet the people and anyway, it's really great.
And Yelp, they have the ratings. And you're up there on the top with the ratings and Yelp.
Yelp is the key, because I'm going to tell you, Joey, the generation today, these kids, they get on here and they look you up.
Oh, yeah.
You got bad ratings, I don't care if I got Wolfgang Puck and my grandmother back in that kitchen, they ain't coming in here. But they look at that review. And then what these people, they do get up and they do the same thing. Right. But it's always personal. It ain't just the food. It's how you made me feel. My mother's 80th birthday. Last night we had a show in here. A woman was 102 years old.
Yes.
Sat in the back, and we did all the songs. And I went up to her and I hugged her, and she looked at me, and she called me over. She could hardly even speak loud. And I leaned into her, and she said, "You brought me back to my youth."
Aww.
Of the music we do, because we do a tribute to Louis Prima, Artie Shaw, Tito Puente, all that music that nobody does anymore, because there's no place to go in Vegas the way it was. Years ago, you had the Fremont, the Mint, the top of the dunes, the Aladdin. The list was endless. Because today, everybody's in bed by 9:30.
Yeah, yeah. Talking about being bed at 9:30. I mean, I mean, not me, but I mean, a lot of
Not
people.
any of us.
I don't know about you, Joe. I'm waiting for Handy to come on 9:45. I'm watching.
I know you're not open for breakfast. You're not
No.
open for lunch. You don't have to be. I mean, you don't want to be the richest guy in the cemetery,
That's,
right?
that's what I said to you earlier. Now, I make the place work for me. I don't work for the place, but there's a lot that's involved in it because even though when I'm performing, I don't miss a trick. I watch everything that goes on because and I look at people's dishes. I don't ask them, "Did you enjoy it?" I can tell by them looking. I can look at the dish. God forbid there's a problem, take it off their bill. There's no discussion.
Right.
Because people won't say nothing. Sometimes it's too salty, sometimes it's too hot, maybe they didn't like it. Doesn't make no difference.
Right.
I want my customer happy. My first priority is my customer, like my grandmother. You came to my grandmother's house, that old lady made sure that you were happy. And she would look at the dish. She never said nothing, she just would look down at the dish.
Right.
That would tell you. You weren't touching it, something ain't right. You didn't feel good or you didn't like it.
Right. Unbelievable. Well, you know, that's what we like about my mother's house restaurant. I mean, that's why I love coming here. I wish he was open for breakfast and lunch, and I'll probably be here for all three meals. I mean, but you know what? But I gotta have the music. If the music is not here, I don't want to cut. The music, the food is great, but the entertainment is like my dessert. That really puts a frosting on the cake when you come into this place here. Listen to Mike Leonetti with his music. Then he goes around the tables and he just charms everybody here in the room, and it's just like the good old days, man. You don't get that kind of entertainment, that kind of treatment anymore.
No, you don't. But I got to tell you, Joe, with all respect, 2 parts of this restaurant. I got the easy part. The singing, the cooking, the signing the autographs. It's my wife, Laura.
I was going to say.
She's the heartbeat. Listen, if it wasn't for her, this wouldn't even exist.
That's true.
Because I wouldn't even know how to open the cash register. That's not my end.
Right.
The payroll, the bills, making sure the scheduling that's there. She does it all. Because without her, Joe,
The heart doesn't beat.
for me anyway.
She keeps her heart beating.
You hear that,
does.
honey?
For the business and for him, his heart keeps going.
That's right,
And
because I
she's-
love you, sweetheart. Yeah.
She's fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's true. When you walk through the doors here, it's as if you've walked into a house.
That's what I want.
Yes, it's a restaurant, and clearly you can tell that. But it feels just like a home, and
It
it's
does.
so cozy, and it's like friends are here, and it's beautiful.
People always ask me, they say, Mike, are you going to break out? Are you going to expand? You need to get her a bigger place. I say, no, there's a magic here.
Yes.
If it ain't broke, why fix it?
Well, you
You
know
know?
what? I know that last night you had from what you told me before, you had a crowd outside.
Oh, we were
They-
packed outside.
They were outside, and there was lots of people. You said you couldn't get them in. You know, you got to turn people away. I mean, there's nothing better in the world for you to say I got to turn people away. For them, it is bad because they want to come in here. You know, and they got to understand this is only by reservations.
Well, we get a lot of people Joe, that really don't know that it's reservations, and they come up, and as much as I would love to accommodate them, you know, now many restaurants, what they do is as you're sitting down and you're eating, they're cleaning. You didn't ask for your check. They're cleaning your table.
Right,
They're moving your stuff. Are you done with this? They're picking this stuff up.
right.
It's a way of saying you
Yeah.
need
Time
to
for
go.
you to go.
I gotta turn this table. And I didn't want to open up an establishment. My wife and I did not want to open up this establishment with that premise. Because if I had to do that, then you know what I mean, it's like a dirty fighter's got to put, remember the old days they used to put nickels in their hand to make sure the boxing gloves were, you remember them days, don't you?
You put rosin on the
Oh,
gloves.
rosin on the glove.
Rosin on the
I didn't
gloves.
want to go that route. I wanted to say, you know something, if we can't do 80 dinners a night to 90 dinners a night, then it's not going to make it. Because if I got to worry about selling a meatball sandwich to make a living, I'm in trouble. But everybody does that. They
Right.
open up. And when you have an overhead, I got 28 employees.
How many meatballs do you make a week here?
1,000.
1,000 meatballs.
1,000.
Wow.
Minimum 1,000.
Meatballs.
1,000.
And those are the big ones.
Yeah, I give you
I
a
mean-
nice sized meatball. Then I got the brisket because I have a tremendous Jewish clientele. And all my commercials, I say, if you can't cut that meat with a spoon, I'll pick up the tab. That means I'll pay for the dinner.
Yeah.
That meat will melt in your mouth like Holy Communion. I got people going to prayer. Jewish people put a yarmulke on their head, they pray to a wall. It's unbelievable. That's how good that brisket is.
Tell us about that special new appetizer that you were sharing earlier.
25 years ago, I was in Beijing, China, and I came across the Wu Chow stone. It's a stone which I'll show you.
Okay.
It's about this big. It's almost 600 degrees. And I got Kobe filet mignon. So my grandfather used to make a great steak. The old man made this, and I said, Pop, how do you do this? And he would make it Italian olive oil, and he would special spices, and he marinated 5 days. So I went out and got the filet mignon. I cut it. It's a 10-ounce cut. You get 4 cuts out of it. Marinated for 5 days. But what's beautiful about this wonderful romantic appetizer is you cook it right at the table. That's the key. You cook it right at the table. And you get a side dish of fettuccine Alfredo with that, fresh vegetables. And I got to tell you, Joe, that meat, the minute that meat hits that stone, the smell in this place, everybody, it's like a fajita.
Yeah.
Almost on that same line.
Yeah.
But this is Kobe filet mignon we're talking about.
Wow.
But it's out of this world. And you can really feed 3 to 4 people, but it's an appetizer for 2.
Wow. And that's one of the specials of the house.
That's one of the specials, actually the brisket, and then I got the orange roughy, because that's the only fish that I carry. I mean, there's a lot of great fish, but that orange roughy, there's 2 ways to have it. You can have it pan-fried and a piccata sauce with the sherry wine and butter, or you can have it deep-fried and in an Italian tempura batter. It's so light, out of this world, and you can't finish it.
I think that one day, the way he's talking about cooking this stuff, I think we should have a little cooking class, a special afternoon, a special morning one day, one Saturday morning early or one Sunday morning. There's a little slow kick up to a little cooking class. I think it'll be fantastic. The place will be packed. People want to learn how you cook. You got the magic touch.
Well, you know, it's funny. I did a show a few years ago with a couple of guys that you know, a guy named Chewy
Yeah.
and Zab Judah. And we made meatballs. It's on YouTube.
Is that right?
Right. And Zab is over there. I was teaching him. I made the ingredients, and we had a great time.
I was with him in New York 2 weeks ago.
Zab?
Yeah, he's doing okay, yeah.
You tell him Chef Mike said hi.
Oh yeah, we'll do that, yeah.
He's a good kid.
Yeah, 4-time world champion, Zab Judah.
Yep, and he made the meatballs, and I was proud of him. I was teaching him, and Chewy was get the eggs, crack the eggs, put this in it. These guys I was teaching them how to do it.
Good. Now, talking about teaching people and whatnot, you have a bunch of musicians here, but some of these guys, they've been around the block a couple of times. They're very talented. Can you tell me a little bit about them?
Well, these guys are the greatest. My musical director is Jamie Grant. Jamie's the ultimate concert pianist. He's on the lines of Carmen Cavallero and Liberace. Magnificent.
Yes.
I got Michael DeBarry, drummer, who I know Mikey for 20 years. The best jazz swing drummer in town. Jeff Davis, bass guitar. Very quiet man. Very seldom says a word. But he's so loud when it comes to his playing. He's distinct. He's like Ray Brown. He is the master when it comes to playing the bass. And naturally, my brother, who is the ultimate, the great Steve Johnson. Louis Prima had Sam Butera. I got Steve Johnson, the horn man.
Right.
And there is nobody, I mean nobody, Joe, that can play like that. He's the last of that breed.
Yeah.
And master trumpet, flute, clarinet, does a thing for Benny Goodman. He does it all.
I mean, when I've come in here to watch you guys perform, he definitely stands out. You can see he's really one of the pros of one of the best of all times. You can really see he has the talent.
So good.
Yeah, he's the best. But the whole band's good, and we
Yes.
have a lot of fun.
I know that. That's what makes it so exciting. You guys there's so much humor, and you put a lot of humor to the show. But everybody got the talent. When you got them one-on-one, they're on their own. It's just like you can give them all a standing ovation, really.
Yeah, the
absolutely.
guys are great. The guys are ultimately the best when it comes to that, and I'm very proud to have them. And I'm glad I have the opportunity to give these guys the work, 3-4 nights a week to perform, because unfortunately, as sad as it may be, years ago there was plenty of work. You had all the lounges.
Right.
All the lounges were dried up. You got Circus du Soleil, you got all these Mystere. There's no more lounge shows. It is done. There's a few other restaurants that have a few things. Years ago, it was the Jewish people, the comedians, used to call the Borscht Belt. The Jewish people were the comedians and the Italians were the singers. Today, it's the meatball circuit. Because the only people, that's what I call it, the meatball circuit. The only people that got entertainment is 90% of these Italian restaurants. I mean, think about it.
That's true.
That's it. All the Italian restaurants, the only ones carrying, like maybe a piano player and
Right.
or a singer and a guitar player. I'm the only one with a show,
Right.
with a full show.
Well, I'll
Right.
tell you, I really definitely love it. I think that this show should be picked up by some big hotel here. That's why I asked you before, do you do anything outside of the restaurant
All the
here?
time. We just
Yeah.
did the Suncoast about a month and a half ago.
Okay.
We did a show there, which was great. We had a great time. But again, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, this is my place. I have to stay here because people come to see me.
They do.
They came to see, when they went to the Sands, they went to see Frank, Sammy, and Dean.
Right.
He didn't go anyplace else
Right.
but the Sands.
Right.
That's the key.
Right.
But Mondays I'm open to do other things and other concerts and play different places, you know.
Yeah. But I mean, this place here, now, you've been here how many years at this, my mother's house?
2
here?
years.
2 years.
We've been here.
2 years.
And
huh?
it's amazing, Joe. There was 12 restaurants that opened this establishment. They didn't last 6 months.
Right.
They shut their doors.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, I like the decor in here. You look at every corner, every inch of this place here is just fabulous. I can see the Rat Pack corner table on the side over there. That's beautiful. That's really outstanding. You have the all the celebrities on the walls. I can see Frank Sinatra. I see so many.
Well, your picture's there as well.
Oh, well,
And
yeah.
I want to mention about the drum set.
My grandfather bought me that set of drums behind you in 1964. I was 12 years old.
55 years ago.
And on the side of the drum, I laminated the bill of receipt. I still had the bill of receipt.
Yeah.
He paid $273 for that set of drums.
Wow.
I had them drums all my life. I played them all my life, from a kid, from weddings to bar mitzvahs.
Oh, man.
They traveled all around the world with me. And many people say, Mike, I could have bought 50,000 drums. But when I play them drums, Joe, I see my grandfather's face. I see that old man in front of me. And in my heart, I always dedicate that drum solo to him.
I bet
Mike
you
Leonetti,
did.
I'll tell you, you're something else, buddy. You got it all. You got the talent.
Thank you.
You got it all. You got the looks. You got the
Oh,
charm.
look, I'm an old man.
Yeah,
Easy,
yeah,
done,
come on,
brother.
people love
I
you,
got a
man.
great smile. 40
Pe-
grand. I had to put all the teeth in.
People love you, man. People love you for who you are, for your talent, the way you carry yourself, and the way you are with the fans that come in here.
Thank you,
The
Joe. I
client, the
appreciate
clientele, they keep coming back over and over again. I know the people here, the Sun City, yeah, they must be in love with you. I bet you they probably all got you on their will.
that. I think they do. I'm going to have a lot of problems with their children, though. I'm going to say that right now because they're in line waiting for those hundreds of thousands of dollars.
They all say, hey, you're so good, I'll put you on my will,
Yeah,
man.
of
Mike,
course.
you on the will for sure.
You know, Joe, I got to say this to you publicly. I've been blessed to know a lot of great people. And knowing you, because this ain't the first time we met, there's 3 things a person must have. And I said this on stage in front of everybody about you. For the nucleus of self-success. The content of a man's character, the integrity you hold as an individual, and the compassion you feel towards another human being. And Mr. Cortez, I want you to know that you have all 3 of those qualities.
Thank
and
you.
I'm proud to know you.
Thank you very much. It's
pleasure.
very nice, kind words of you to say that. I mean, you make me blush. But you know what? Everything you're saying is the truth. I am a loving, caring person with everybody out there. I'm always out there, always paying it forward. I want to help people out. And what I do with these shows like this, I do it for the passion I have for love for people. People I really care about, people that I think deserve to be noticed more to the public for who they are. And me, I'm a big fan of yours. And I would say, you know, people got to know more about Mike Leonetti and my mother's house, the restaurant, the food. I'll tell you, it is amazing.
Thank you.
And it's good to have you as a friend. I mean,
I appreciate
it's
that,
really
Joe.
so nice. It's so kind of you.
Well, guys like you and I went through some tragedy in our life,
Yeah,
you know, but it makes some people weak. In our case, it made us champions.
that's right. Made us stronger.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of guys, they're great when they hit the speed bag until they get in the ring with somebody.
Yeah,
That's what it takes. It takes to get that hit
Yeah.
and get up from the ground. It's easy to hit the canvas and
Yeah.
knock it up. It's hard to hit the canvas and get up and win the fight.
Yeah, exactly. Well, sometimes you can lose a fight, but you're not a loser until you quit.
Right.
And yeah, we're not quitters, you know. And there's people in life that say, you know, they go down. They say, that's it, I'm out of here. No. You're still a champion. I don't care if you get knocked down. It's those that don't quit, that continue going. Those are the champions. Those are the winners, you know.
I agree.
And that's the way it is in life, you know. Even Mike can tell you, I can tell you, Lynn can tell you, that there's always a happy ending. And no matter what we do, we find a way to make it a happy ending.
That's right.
Because life goes on. It doesn't mean that it's over when something cave in on you. If you show that the character that you are, the heart that you have, and what you want to do in life is to go out there, help people, make everybody happy. And Mike is definitely doing that here with my mother's house. with his entertainment, with his cooking, and with the dessert at the end. Can you tell us about that special dessert?
There's a couple great desserts I have. I have the St. Anthony's cup. What the St. Anthony cup is, it's 3 homemade cream puffs. I stuff them with an Italian cream. But the chocolate comes from Rome, Italy. I'm only allowed 150 pounds of chocolate a year. It's like a holiday of obligation, some kind of holy thing.
You can only eat or you can only buy?
Only buy it. I only get 150 pounds. It's 2 75-pound blocks. In my heart, I swear, they must have holy water in that chocolate because that chocolate's incredible.
Yeah.
The tiramisu, I tell everybody, if it ain't the best they've ever tasted, they ain't paying for it.
So you think it has holy water in it?
I think it's got holy water.
Or maybe I take a chocolate bar, I go to church and I look around, dip it in the bowl in the
Dip
bag
it
of the
in
holy
bowl,
water.
they must put the
Dip it in the holy water right there, take a bite out of it.
That's what I think they have. And naturally, my tiramisu, and naturally, limoncello.
Yeah. Oh.
The limoncello is absolutely out of this world. And now I got something brand new.
What's that?
Is the key lime pie. I have a
Key lime
gentleman
pie.
that works for me, Matt, phenomenal kid from France. And I never tasted bake. I don't bake, but he does. And he made a key lime pie. Joe, God is my witness, and I'm not a pie eater. This thing blew me away. We sell more key lime pie than I do tiramisu.
Right.
Wow.
So I always try to give something different to my audience that you can't get anyplace else. When you get into stock stuff, most restaurants, they're forced to buy from other vendors that do that. When you
Right.
got homemade cooking, it's a whole nother ballgame.
Wow.
That's why I want to stay small. Because if I go big, now I got no choice but to go.
I think
Right.
I really think somebody could come around and say, you know, Mike, this place is beautiful and everything, but how about make a deal like a $50 million deal? We open up at Caesars. We have a big room that holds 500 people. We want you to take care of that.
You know, I want to tell you something. We talked a lot about a lot of things. There's one guy we didn't bring into the equation. My Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And I thank that man for the blessings that he has given me. I lost it all, and he gave everything back to me. Because with his guidance, you'll never lose.
That's true.
Yeah, that's for sure. You got to have a believer.
I do.
You just can't think you can go out there and do it by yourself. Sometimes you got to stop and pray to God. Thank God for your blessings and thank God that He got you a good health
Yep.
and give you all these talented people to surround you. It's like a team. You can't do it all by yourself. You got a team of individuals, your wife, and you got your band, you got your chefs,
staff.
and you got your waiters, everybody. But most importantly, your clientele who come in here and leave here with a happy smile on their face, like a family hugging each other. And we'll see you again next week. What a great time we had tonight. This is the best place in the world. I'm sure you hear that every day.
Every time. It's an experience. Can I give a toast? Am I allowed to give a toast?
Sure,
to you?
let's do that.
Sure.
Raise it, please.
A toast to the...
Here's a toast. I want to give a toast. Joe, if I had Aladdin's lamp and I had one wish to make, I wouldn't wish for caviar or any special dish. I wouldn't wish for dollars. Getting dollars, I have few. I wish to do an interview with people as wonderful and as nice as the both of you. Al salud.
Hey, salud.
Salud.
Al salud.
Wow, this is
That's some good wine.
a good wine, man. I tell you.
You know, I wanted to say that you always have regulars, but you also mentioned that you ask how many people are brand new here.
65 to 70% a night people that
A
never
night.
been here a night. And I make a point. How many people are here for the first time? And 65 to 70% of people raise their hand, and that is unheard of. But they come from all over Vegas, mostly the Strip,
Yes.
Caesars, MGM Grand. You know what I mean? The Rampart. They come from all over because they look for that spot. They go on Google or they go on Yelp. And the rest is history.
Well, I want to just tell you fans out there that Joe Cortez Show is always a very special show for a simple reason that we have guests like Mike Leonetti and his fine restaurant, My Mother's House. Make sure you come by. Jalen, my co-host.
I can't wait to have another meal here.
Hey, we'll be seeing you guys soon. Take care. God bless. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci,
Cheers.
Joe. Salud.